Hey guys, Jonathan here. Today, I'm in Germany looking for more quirky, unusual tools. We're going to be going around some of their biggest hardware stores, starting with Bauhaus. This place looks massive. Let's go and have a look inside. So I can tell it's a big hardware store already, just having a couple of major tool brands right out the gate. Good range of Makita. I just found this, sat on the side, no price tag, no other examples of it. This has got a lithium battery built in, charged by micro USB. Feels like it's slightly broken, the button on the bottom. But it's got forward and reverse, and it reminds me of like the Ryobi Cricket. That's unusual. Have you ever seen a Makita battery screwdriver? Have you ever seen this product? I have no idea what the price point is. It's just sat here, on the side, no label, no box. Didn't take long. First item, Bauhaus Zollstocks. Question is, do we go for the plain birch? That'll be the classic, and I've got a fair few of these plain birch ones. Here we go, here's something a bit different. Multi-tool, €4.95, €5. It's got something about it, hasn't it? Mainly the shape, really. Bit of a weird shape. It's got a little torch on it. It's definitely quirky. Maybe that's a bonus. Let's chuck it in. I've seen iFixit loads of times. I've actually got an iFixit toolkit. I didn't know they were in stores though. So in Germany, you can get an iFixit kit on the shelf. See you, Jimmy. See you, Jimmy. That's the old Jimmy there. See you, Jimmy. I see you, Jimmy.
Well, I'm glad you made that clear.
Got a nifty Stanley knife I've not seen before. Quick slide sport. Now, obviously, there's a lot of knives that exist that are a utility knife with a kind of box opener. Maybe it's a locking knife, and if it was, we wouldn't be allowed it kind of general carry. You still are allowed a knife that locks in the UK, but you have to have a reason why you've got it. So as a tradesman, you can usually get away with it, but not too bad in a toolkit. I think we'll get that as well. Quite cool. That's like an advance on the Stanley foobar. Really love the foobar. This is the Abruck Werkzeug. Werkzeug is what they call tools. Oh no, that's Handwerkzeug. €25 for a big old whacking stick. These are quite cool. I'm kind of baffled why. This one is €23, this one's 20. They both do up to 42mm pipe. They both do plastic pipe and multi-pipe. This one is metal, this one's plastic, and this one's a chunk smaller, which to me makes that one the better one. And for €19, I don't see much Rothenberger tools in the UK, so I might be wrong on this one, but I cut electrical conduit, but up to 42mm will do most plastic push-fit pipes, including like waste, kitchen sink waste. So €19, chuck it in. And that looks pretty cool too. Universal toilet installation tool. If you've ever put a toilet seat on, sometimes it can be a right faff. They have like weird little wing nuts and plastic collars, and they're a flipping pain in the neck. I've changed a few toilet seats now. Usually I'm doing it as a favour for a friend. €15. Again, I'm not super familiar with plumbing tools, so we'll bundle that in with the Rothenberger pipe cutter. Look at this here. You know it's a good deal when it's in a wheelbarrow. €10. Laser liner. Now I love a volt stick. You can't really rely on it for everything, but it's really handy when you're just trying to buzz out a problem. It's got a light on it which I can see. It's also got another button which I'd love to know what that means. The problem is, not one of these languages is GB. Am I missing English here? They're pretty cool. They weren't in the measuring section. I think we'll have to get 5 of them and all. Put those in the giveaway. Colin, that's where we are. We're in Cologne at the minute. So if you want one of these and you want one of the volt sticks as well, we'll do these 5 little bundles. Make sure you like the video, drop a comment, let me know what you think of these tools. Is there anything you've seen that I've missed? Let me know in the comments below and then you'll be entered. So let's chuck them in the basket. So, back to Proxxon. No hand tools here, and obviously we've heard hand tools aren't Proxxon's bag. They've got this though, foam cutter. It's got like an adjustable head on it. I've seen quite a few of these, but not one with this flexibility. I wonder if that would cut shadow foam. Right, so we found about 7 quirky tools we don't have in the UK. Could do with a few more, so there is another hardware store called Toom, not far from here. But before we head there, there's a place called Smileys. It's the best, I would say, pizza place in Germany. I was introduced to it by my wife, who lived in Germany for a bit. We're not going there for pizza though. Let me show you. So this is the Smileys pizza rolls, and they're literally little dough balls, but they're not like what you get from Domino's, which is dry and a bit ropey, I think. These are like ham and cheese wraps. They're flipping amazing, and you can't have them without the Smileys pizza dip sauce. This should make a pretty good pit stop. I'll eat this quick and let's get on to Toom. huge range of iron help. I didn't realise they made so much stuff, I know. I'm not sure if it's good pricing though. I mean, I suppose it's because they're classing it as more of a pro tool rather than I always have seen it as a very budget tool. Torch, €34. They have got a glue gun. Not many of these brands have a glue gun. $44.99 for the INL glue gun. Pretty good range. €85 for a heat gun. How much is a drill? That's always a telltale. Combi drill there, €80. USB lead with a tape measure on it. Is that a tool? It's kind of like a crossover, isn't it? Definitely quirky. €25 for that. That is definitely quirky, but it's not something I'm taking home. 25 flipping euros. Who is getting out the USB cable to measure stuff? This is what I like to see. Zollstock with a Toom logo on. That is awesome. That is an easy pickup. I like these. I like the 2 meter ones, but they've obviously got a 3 meter one here, or Toom, so we'll get that. That's a pretty nifty thing. I think utility keys are a really important tool, especially the job I used to do, which was maintenance engineer, fixing machines in factories. You'd always need one of these. And your traditional style, which you might be familiar with, it looks small, but it's quite big. It takes up a lot of area, especially in foam. Something like that is a lot easier to integrate into a kit. That is a pretty cool, unusual set. So that is a set of ratcheting screwdrivers, not a ratcheting with a bit set. That's every single screwdriver. There's ratcheting. Now, if you ask me the price of that, I'd probably say like 30, 40 quid, maybe more. €20, so that's 18 quid. Something feels special about this too. Yeah, I could tell there's something different. So this has got bits that go in the handle, which isn't unusual, but what is unusual is you've got all these different cartridges. So you can switch out your cartridges. I think we found something unusual here, haven't we? Duratech, what a cool little kit that is. What's this thing? That's a utility key I've not seen before either. I'm not sure on that one. It's like you put that on a necklace and have that hanging around your neck. We've got some more pliers. Toom branded, so they're their own brand, but they're made in Germany. It says piano power. I'd guess they're probably NWS as well. I mean, they don't have that little notch on them, but German-made pliers. And they're their own brand. You would never see that in England. An own brand tool. It's actually a decent quality made in Germany thing. I love that. So there wasn't too much stuff in Toom. A lot of it we've already seen, or I've seen it in other German stores, except for this Duratech stuff. And I am kind of second guessing this. That is super, super compact, isn't it? So it's pretty nifty. I'm not sure. I think I might leave that. Hopefully I don't regret it. But I'm pretty happy with those two, so let's get back to the UK. Right, so back from Germany with a big bag of goodies from Bauhaus and a load of stuff from Toom as well. It was a great trip and I always love a visit to Germany. They never fail to deliver on the quirky, interesting tools that we don't have. Starting with number 10. So at number 10, we've got a folding ruler, or as the Germans call it, a Zollstock, which literally translates into inch stick. Even though this is all metric, they still call them inch sticks, and these are everywhere in Germany. Literally every single store has their own Zollstocks, and they're really good quality. They're just mint. I saw these before I'd gone to Germany, but I think the ones I'd seen were really cheap, nasty, kind of just nothing you would actually use or rely on, but these things are another level. So I bought a bunch of these. I bought 5, and you might know already why I bought 5. I was in Cologne, so these have got the German spelling for Cologne on there. So I got 5 of those, plus one for me, because I've got a Zollstock collection, which I'll show you in a second. I also bought their other Bauhaus one, and that's for my collection. I also got the only other one they had there, which is Stabila. Now, I already have a Stabila, but it's not the same as this, and it'll all become clear why in a second. And I also got a load of these Bauhaus carpenter's pencils. And if you've been watching this channel for any time, you know we love a simple little giveaway. And this first item is starting off strong, I think. We've got 3 carpenter's pencils and a Bauhaus Zollstock for 5 lucky winners, basically. And that's how we do giveaways on this channel. They're really nice and simple. All you've got to do is drop a comment and let me know any of your thoughts on these tools that I'm about to show you. Every single comment gets entered. All you've got to be is subscribe to the channel, and that's it. Subscribe and drop a comment, and then you're entered. So let me show you my Zollstock collection. It's getting there now. I'm pretty happy with it. So it all started on my first trip to Germany, which was getting on for a year now, and I bought quite a lot of these while I was there. I got this one, the Jonas. My name's Jonathan, and people call me Jonna, so that was one of the first ones I got. We got one from Globus Baumarkt, which is one of their hardware stores that I was shopping in that first trip, and I've got a Hultafors one. This was from the German Tool Fair show not long ago, and this one is impressive. Hultafors were the guys who invented these and made them, and you can literally bend theirs in half, which is some doing. I don't think you can do that with all of them. Definitely don't risk it with all of them. So that is the extent of the problem right now. I've got 30 Zollstocks, and I've tried to limit it to just hand tool brands and power tool brands and hardware stores, to be fair. In Germany, you can get Zollstock with every brand of fastener, fixing, window maker, what you name it. There's a Zollstock out there with a brand printed on it. So I've tried to limit it to just power tools, and we're at 30 now, which is pretty cool, which has led me to bring out our own folding ruler. Shadow foam printed on both sides with red ends. This is the only one you need, really. and we'll put a link in the description down to go and grab yourself one of these shadow foam folding rulers or Zollstocks. And that is number 10. Let's show you number 9. Number 9 is a quirky universal key. So if you've ever opened any electrical panels or plumbing electrical, any sort of panel really, you need one of these universal keys. And usually they're like a cross like this and they take up a bit of room. So I love any sort of compact version that's a little bit smaller, it offers the same basically use and it solves the same problem but taking up a lot less room. And this is what this is, and it's made by Toom, or it's got Toom's logo on it anyway, and it kind of locks in place, which is quite nice, so you can really get some purchase on it. But obviously look how little space that takes. Nice and small little item. And on top of that, just to show you how popular Zollstocks are in Germany, I've made it twice on this list because I've got one from Toom. But in Toom, not only have they got a picture of it on the carrier bag, they've also got huge versions of it, little models in the store, and that just shows you how popular these Zollstocks are and how kind of like widely known and widely used they are in Germany. And obviously not used hardly at all anywhere else, really, are they? You don't see these very much in the UK, if ever. It's very, very seldom will you see one of these. So that's number 9, the universal key, backed up by another Zollstock. So on to number 8. So number 8 on the list is a quirky Stanley knife called the Quick Slide Sport. Now I do see these occasionally, and it's basically your utility knife combined with like a traditional fixed blade knife. But this one had something a little bit about it. The fact that it's coming out on an angle, so it's a quirky utility knife. You can actually demo it in the packaging as well, which is always a nice little feature. Quite interesting, not seen that before. Might be wrong, because it feels like it would be available in the UK. It's got a UK brand, Quick Slide Sport, but at the end of the day I've not seen it. And I do look in a lot of tool shops. If you've been watching this channel for any length of time, you know that visiting tool shops looking for quirky tools is one of my favourite pastimes. So the fact that I've not seen this before means it probably not sold in many places in the UK, if it's sold anywhere. So there we go, we've got it open. Let's have a look. So we've got fixed blade, and it is locking. Now you're not allowed to carry a locking blade in the UK, but you can have one for work purposes. There's no problem having this, you just can't go wandering around the streets with it, but that kind of makes sense for any knife, doesn't it? The release mechanism is interesting. You click that down on the back, and that releases that. Well, that's interesting. So you can't get the utility blade out if that blade's out. That's nice, isn't it? Nice little feature. Push up to release the blade. I wonder why they call it Sport. Who are they aiming this at? When they call it a Quick Slide Sport, that little pin there, you've got to push down and slide it back. That is not what I would consider a quick, sporty mechanism. That is what I would consider a flipping awkward mechanism. And that hurts your thumb. I play guitar, so I've got like a fair bit of like segs on the end of my fingers, and that is still uncomfortable to push that down. Who's that aimed at? The Quick Slide Sport. Emphasis on the sport. Maybe it is designed for like fishermen or something, or, you know, I don't know what other sports you need a knife really. Not a big fan of that. I can definitely say I won't be using that. That is a bit awkward. But it doesn't stop there, because also in number 8, we have another quirky knife, and this one is called the Vicent box cutter. Made by Vicent, but it's got Bauhaus written on it. Let me show you. Now, have you ever heard that term, box cutter? Because in the UK, as far as I was concerned, a box cutter was a utility knife. It was just something like that, with a Stanley blade in it. Well, actually, box cutters, turns out, like razor blades in a little holder. Now, I did get one from Ace Hardware in the States a couple of weeks back now, and their version looks very similar. I'm sure you can see here. They look very, very similar. They both house a razor blade. Now this one, I've not got much good to say about it because it just feels like it's dangerous. This little metal sleeve that goes over it can easily just slip back. So if you've got that in your pocket, I can well imagine you knocking that and cutting yourself. So I'm not a big fan of that, but it's what a box cutter is. Now the Bauhaus version, it's quite nice. It's like a safety box cutter. So you hold that out with your thumb, cut the box. As soon as you let go, it flicks back. And it's a quirky little mechanism, got Bauhaus written on it. And that is essentially the same thing as that, but safe, which I quite like. So I bought 5 of them. I bought 6 actually. I got one for me. So we've got one box cutter for each of these little piles, and I think that is getting to be a nice little giveaway now. We've got a knife, we've got the folding ruler. This is everything you need. You've got something to sharpen the pencil as well now with the knife. And that is number 8. Let me show you number 7. Next up, we've got a little item from Gerber. Now, you can get Gerber everywhere, but you don't often see like a Gerber cabinet in the UK, and you do see that a fair bit in Germany actually. They have Gerber like multi-tool cabinets in most of the stores. I don't usually look at them because I think, oh, I can see that stuff in England, but actually when I had a flick through, I've not seen this little splice multi-tool before, and I'll show you. It's a nifty little multi-tool. I do like multi-tools. I do feel like if you're putting together like a little kit for on the road, having something, a small little kit is pretty awesome. I didn't even realise how small it was. It obviously, in the packet, it's folded out. That is flipping minute. So what you've got in there is a pair of scissors, and you can tell from the steel, they are pretty heavy duty scissors. It says it's 8 tools in one. So we've got the scissors, obviously, which is really quite a crucial tool. You've got a knife, you've got a little saw, and then on this side, we've got a little tiny screwdriver and a bottle opener in one. That's pretty clever, isn't it? So you've got a bottle opener and a flathead screwdriver, and on this side, you've got like a small Phillips head screwdriver and a tiny little terminal driver. That's interesting, isn't it? It's almost too small to get your fingers in and pull out the flipping tools, actually. That's a bit tricky, but it's a nifty little thing. Look how small it is. And the major tool on it, really, is the scissors, isn't it? Having a pair of scissors and a knife on you, that's a pretty nifty thing. So I don't think it'll beat my Gerber armbar, which I don't have on me today. Today, what have I got in my pocket? I've got a little Victorinox. A lot of these multi-tools have tools on them you never use, and I like this one because it's a knife and a bottle opener, and that's pretty much it. That's all you need. Open boxes, open beers. So that's that's my preferred multi-tool of choice. And as well, you're allowed that in the UK because it's not a locking knife. Now, you'd be allowed this too because this doesn't lock. So you could be walking the streets with this thing. But like I say, the main thing about it is a pair of really solid scissors. So that is number 7. Let me show you number 6. Right, so in 6 is something I really like, actually. To be fair, this might deserve bumping up the queue because only when I put batteries in it and give it a proper test did I know how good it actually was. So I saw this in the store in a wheelbarrow, which, I mean, when you see tools in a wheelbarrow, it's not good vibes, is it? You're thinking this is some cheap junk. It's called the Laser Liner Active Finder. Now, if you've ever used a volt stick, this is exactly what this is. So it's a non-contact electrical tester. You shouldn't be using this for testing cables before you touch them to make sure something's dead, but you can use it for fault finding or for checking, is it, you know, which one, if you know your cable's live and you're trying to find one through a bundle, you can use this sometimes, and they can be really helpful. Now, this one has got something extra about it, because one thing, it's got a torch on the end, Brucey bonus. Never going to argue with a little torch on the end, are you? But then on top of that, it's got this button called zoom, which I thought, you know, what's the point in a zoom button? Anyway, let me show you. When I hold it up against a wire, you have to be pretty much touching it for it to pick up the fact that there's power there. That is quite sensitive. Some of these can be a little bit like you have to be literally touching the wire. This one, you know, I'm within about a centimetre and it's beeping. But the thing that's really nice about it, if you click zoom, it'll detect power from about 3 inches away. Pretty impressive. And the reason why I like that is because imagine you're trying to check if there's a cable in your wall. There must be something there. Go further down, there's nothing. We're all good. We can drill there. No power, no problem. Love it.
I love it.
What a cool tool that is. I'm glad I bought 5 of them now because I saw them. They had a really good deal going. So that's it. I've got 5 of those, 1 for each of the giveaways. And that is number 6. Number 5 is 2 tools from Rothenberger. Now, it's not Rothenberger, to us Brits with the TH, but it's actually Rothenberger. I've had that on good authority from Rothenberger themselves. First item is a pair of aluminium pipe cutters up to 42mm, and these are slightly different to the ones I've got. They don't do up to 42mm pipe, but they're literally very much the same thing, but it's just how tight can you grip. This is a pair of like ratcheting. It goes bit by bit through the pipe, and it's a little bit easier to go stage by stage, and you don't need nearly as much power to get through a 42mm pipe. So that is just a really nifty, novel tool. We've looked at Rothenberger hand tools before, and I think we could probably put a full tool set together of their stuff. Maybe the ultimate plumber's kit. Let me know, would you like to see the ultimate plumber's toolkit? Because if you do, that will be going in it, and also this thing. Now, this is called the RoLokus, and it's the Universal Toilet Seat Installation Tool. Now, if you've ever put in a toilet seat, you'll know that they're a bit of a nightmare. They have really awkward nylon nuts usually, or they have like wing nuts, and they're right at the back. They're awkward. You've kind of got to get one hand over the toilet, one hand underneath. Well, this is like a universal tool to go up behind there and hold that wing nut or that plastic nut and just make your life a whole load easier because you can hold it on an angle. Wasn't expensive, and I thought if we're putting together an ultimate plumber's toolkit, we're going to want a toilet seat universal tool. So thought it was good to get one of those. I don't think you can get that in the UK, not that I can see, but correct me if I'm wrong. I read all the comments and I do get back to you all as well. So if you know something I don't, which I probably do when it comes to plumbing tools, as a spark, it's not really my area.
Yeah, guys, it's outside of my area of expertise.
But there we go. That is number 5. Let me show you number 4. So number 4 on the list is something that isn't German. This is a British-made, British-invented item called the Marxman. And the guy who was on Dragon's Den with this thing.
You simply hold the bracket where you want to. You simply push it in the hole and it will spray a burst of green chalk showing you where to drill.
So there you go. One of these markers does 250 marks, and it's such a simple, novel device. And the fact I saw it in Germany, I thought, got to have one in my armoury. I'll support his German endeavours. And we've got one for each of you. So one for me and one for each of these little giveaways. And to be fair, that is the last of the items that are going in the giveaway. So I'll get one of these little bags. And if you guys want one of these, it's such a simple way to enter. All you've got to do is drop a comment about anything. Any of these tools have caught your eye, you can let me know in the comments below. Let me know about any interesting tools you've seen on your travels around different countries, because I might be going to your country next. So I'm always open to ideas for future videos. Let me know in the comments. As soon as you do, you'll be entered into the prize draw for this giveaway, and we draw it in 3 weeks, and there'll be a little short video that's showing who's the winner. Make sure you don't miss out, drop a comment, subscribe while you're down there, click the bell icon, all that good stuff. And that leads me to our top 3, starting with... So number 3 is something from Proxxon. Now we're at the German tool fair, there was a whole Proxxon stand there. We looked at all the hand tools and all of their kind of miniature hobbyist equipment, and at the tool show I never picked anything up because nothing caught my eye. But in Bauhaus they had this thing, which is a foam cutter. Now anything to do with cutting foam is right up my alley, so I picked this up, but I did make a bit of a faux pas. You're supposed to buy the Proxxon 12 volt transformer. Put a picture. Ping! That's what it looks like. And essentially this has got like a weird quirky plug. It attaches to their like own brand transformer, and then you can use these tools because they're all low voltage. But no worries, I've got a variable transformer here. So I've already set it to 12 volts, and I can just literally use these crocodile clips to attach it to the negative and the positive, and that will work. So all I need is one of the little NiCad wires. We can set this up and give it a bit of a test, because I'm always looking for interesting ways to cut foam. I've used hot wire cutters in the past, and usually they smell a bit, and they also are quite slow. It looks like a solid piece of kit, and I'm happy to give it a try, because you never know. You never know until you try it.
You never know.
That's cool, it's got a beep, an audible beep when it's on. If you were to do this, you have to make sure you're in a well-ventilated room, because it does give off a bit of fumes. And there you go, that is exactly as I would have expected. These things are usually designed for polystyrene and scenery making. It's a nice solid object, but it's slow as heck. So unless maybe you're doing radius corners, or you're doing something really big and you've got loads of time, I wouldn't really recommend this for shadow foam cutting. Interesting tool though. Obviously it's a lot easier to use if you've got the little transformer, and maybe you've bought into the Proxxon range and using a lot of stuff. But can it cut shadow foam? Yes it can, but slowly. So that's number 3. Let's look at number 2. So second on the list, one of my favourites to be fair, hence why it's second on the list, and that is these Duratech screwdrivers, ratcheting screwdrivers. This is your traditional ratcheting screwdriver, but you can see it's like one directional, so it doesn't matter if I'm turning it left or right, the item is only ever going clockwise. So you can kind of undo screws a lot quicker, which is cool, and it's got like a cartridge mechanism for screwdriver bits. So that is novel.
Okay, kid. Out of the box.
Right, so I've got them all out of the packets, and these are basically a normal screwdriver, but with a ratcheting mechanism. And the reason why I like that is because sometimes with these ratcheting screwdrivers, the shaft is like a bit more big, it's a bit bigger, it's a bit clunky, and obviously then you've got the bit in the end. This is quite nifty how you've got these cartridges. It comes with, what's that, 7 different cartridges, and they just click on, and then the one that you choose, you kind of just snap it into place, slot that down. And although that is great, and they call it double drive, because it turns whichever way you turn the screwdriver, left or right, anti-clockwise or clockwise, the head only goes one way every single time. You would expect these to be quite expensive. Put the price on the screen. Ding! So that's the price for the screwdriver set, and that's the price for the ratchet. So really modestly priced. You'd have to give them a good old testing to see how strong they are, but I do like it. I think they are pretty deserving of the second place in our novel quirky tools that I've not seen before spot. So that's number 2, and that brings us to the final item. Now, when we do these top 10 lists when I'm going around quirky tool shops, usually number 1 is a tool. And we have a toolbox as a bonus, but this toolbox was something special. I spotted it in Toom. Let me show you my number 1 quirky pickup. So in the number 1 spot we have the Ryobi toolbox. Have you ever seen this toolbox before? It took me a while to find that brand name actually, Toolbox. And this is basically an unreleased Ryobi toolbox system. I think they may have had it in Australia. From a bit of research online, there's a few of these that have been given as like examples and kind of concept toolboxes, but it was never on general sale. But now I've got one. And how did I get one? Well, I saw it in Toom behind the till, and it caught my eye, and I was looking around the store thinking, have they got one somewhere for sale? And they didn't. But when I got back to the UK, I did some research, and as luck would have it, I found one of these listed for sale on Facebook. I messaged the chap, I asked him, firstly, where'd you get it from? How did you get it? Tell me the story. And it turned out he worked for Ryobi, and he'd been given one
as a bit of a gift. So that's how he had one, and obviously I bought it off him, £350 British, which felt like a lot at the time. But actually, looking online, I think this would have gone for a lot more if it was auctioned on eBay. So I think I got a pretty good deal. And yeah, it's got something special about it. All of these are drawers. So you've got 2 moderate drawers here, then you've got a really deep drawer at the bottom, then you've got 4 of these. And basically, every single one of these modules lifts off. Just a handle left and right. The whole section lifts off and it clips back together really nicely. Like literally, just slots on. I had the whole lot in the back of my van in 4 pieces. It has a rolling cart as well, and it just came out all clipped together. And you've got a full roll cab stack there, which I think is a beastie thing, and that is why it's my #1 quirky item. All we've got to do now is cut some foam inserts to organise these drawers and get all these tools cut in. And as luck would have it, I've got a piece of green foam here, shadow foam, so I'm going to measure these drawers, cut some inserts to the right size, and then we can get a layout going. So let's cut this down to size. So I've cut a piece down to size and it's dead easy. I just took one of our large medium sheets, used a long straight edge and then a standard craft knife. This one's the one that comes in our pro kit. Just literally slit it until I've got the right size piece. A quick test fit, and I can tell already it fits just perfect in there. So that is my blank canvas, and now I know it fits. All I have to do now is lay out all the tools and cut them in. So let's get a layout sorted. There we go, all finished. 23 minutes that took me. And we've got some complicated shapes in here, to be fair. We've got the hot foam cutter thing with the wire underneath. And basically what I've done with this is I've cut the plug, because I knew there'd be shallow items right here. I've cut the plug underneath. You can see it kind of just slips underneath that little piece of foam there, and it's out the way. And then the cable can kind of coil up a little bit, and I've gone extra deep there so it just kind of sits nice and flush. So I'm pretty happy with that. That's quite nice. That's always a challenge. We've also double stacked our Zollstocks, and we've got all the other items in, all protected, all organised. And you'll immediately know if something's missing. So if you want to get your tools sorted with some shadow foam, head over to shadowfoam.com. We'll put a link in the description. And if you want to win all of these goodies, there's 5 exact same lots. And all you've got to do is subscribe to the channel, drop a comment down below, and I reply to them all, I read them all. I love talking tools. And like the video while you're at it, that really helps. And if you want another entry, a bonus entry, you can head over to our Instagram as well. There'll be a picture over there. You have to scroll through the feed, find the picture, like it and comment. And that way you can have another entry. So if you want to double up your chances in winning this little bundle, show us some love over on Instagram. Thanks very much. Hope you enjoyed this video. We'll see you in the next one. Right, so we jumped over to the new studio to draw a winner for one of our giveaways. Now, if you don't remember what all of this stuff was, it's from a video where I cut 5 of the most challenging objects into foam. You can go and watch it here if you want to. And essentially, there was some of them were not so bad, like the Tilswell paint sprayer. And then this one was so bad that, you know, that foam is long gone. We don't want to see that again. But what we said was, drop a comment down in the comment section about anything. Any comment is entered into the giveaway, but let us know which one of these you'd like to win. We've had 83 comments and we've got a pretty wide spread. Some people wanted the paint sprayer, some people wanted the hand pan. Drum roll. Some people wanted this is a Hohem stabilizer and also the Hohem microphones. Now, big thanks to Hohem who sent this for free for the video. And we used these lav mics round Bauhaus, and all of that audio was from there. And they were great, really easy to set up. Connected them to the phone, immediately worked, which is what you want pretty much. And we shot all that on an iPhone because going around these hardware stores in foreign countries, it's quite tricky with a big old camera rig. So we just used the iPhone, used those quite discreet, we're not in anyone's way, and they worked really, really well. So big thanks to Hohem. Without further ado, let's draw a winner. We've got 83 entries. There's a name I recognise, Scott One-Armed Carpenter. Wow, that is amazing. So Scott is one of the hardcores. He enters every competition, and I've met him and his family and his 2 sons, Thomas and Jacob, at the Makers Central a couple of years running now. So I'm really pleased to see that name. He said, that paint sprayer would be awesome for me losing some of the weight to a shoulder strap. would be great with not having the ability to swap arms. So if you didn't know, Scott the One-Arm Carpenter is a carpenter with one arm, and it's amazing what he can do with that difficulty, really. He still works around it. So I totally understand that. He says he's got 80 to 90 feet of 6-foot high featherboard fence to paint. Now, this video went out a while ago, and he may have already painted it. Hopefully, you've still got that job on the list, Scott. And also, that reminds me, I think Thomas has created a YouTube channel. He tagged us in it the other day. I think his first video was reviewing our folding ruler. So big up to Thomas. We'll put links in the description, to be fair, for Scott, the One-Arm Carpenter, and his son's channel too, Thomas's channel. So I think that's Sons of the One-Arm Carpenter. We'll put those down below if you did want to go and check those out. Congratulations, Scott. We'll send this out to you. And I think we've still got a little bit of time, so let's do another giveaway. So next up, we've got a cool prize from the Hacksmith. Now, if you don't know who the Hacksmith is, go and check out this video because he's epic. He does loads of cool stuff. We took 3 of his mini sabers, including one of these founder editions. Now, these are super rare. You can't buy these. And for this prize, we've got a t-shirt, we've got a Hacksmith tape measure, 2 sets of inserts, red and green, a founder's coin, these are rare, and a founder's lightsaber. That's a really cool prize, and I've got all of the same stuff. So for this one, we've got 189 comments. So there's a few more entries on this one. As these giveaways have gone along, we've had more and more entries. So this one, 189, let's see who's won it. James Callahan P4074 says, the fact you went into B&M and only came out with what you went in for is incredible. That is a legendary comment. B&M tells you what you need. You don't go in there with any plan in mind. B&M, you could fill a trolley. I don't know what it stands for. Let me know in the comments. Is it bargains and more? It's basically a huge shop full of bargains. And we got like a shelf unit, which we put foam in, put all the Hacksmith stuff in. And yeah, it's a pretty cool build. So we'll message you, James, get your address. We'll send all that over to you. And that is that giveaway. And to be fair, we've got time for one more. And I think we'll do one of our 5 giveaways. Then we'll have 5 winners. So let's have a look. Right, so lastly, we've got our London Tool Fair giveaway. Now, this was the first one we've ever done 5 lots. We've done multiples before, but I think 5 is the magic number moving forwards. And we've got loads of active giveaways. Go and check out some of our other videos. We've got about 6 or 7 videos with active giveaways on still at the moment. So you can go and watch those. Anything after the London Tool Fair, you can drop a comment, you'll be entered. And we'll probably do a few more draws in next week's video as well. But for this one, we've got Weir socks. We've got this awesome little thing, the Weir screwdriver. Everyone loved this. So I know there's a lot more comments. Plus a pen, a Weir pen, plus a few other bits. Viper clip, that was cool. We've actually got a Viper clip now. That's going to be coming in a future video. So loads of cool stuff to go back and watch. Here's the Tool Fair link, and loads of cool stuff coming as well and giveaways. So let's have a look. So this is the video. We'll click fetch. How many comments have we got on this one? I know there's more than 189. This did 200k views, this video. Lots of positivity too. So 1,880 comments. That's pretty amazing. Right, so we've got 5 winners on this. And if you're a winner, we'll contact you, get your address, and send these straight out to you. So let's have a look. First one, we've got Vedran Barrick. Love the Weir stuff. Good stuff, especially this thing. This was 15 quid, so an absolute belter. And Weir being a German brand, it's all good quality stuff. So I totally agree with that. Vedran Barrick, first winner. Let's go for another one. Joe Hohendroid, Weir has great stuff. Agreed, we've got 2. We're all in agreement. Third, another great video, Feeding My Tool Envy, and that's Jim B 1783. That's the 3rd winner. 4th, we've got Russ RH. Love the Weir torque screwdriver. Yeah, so that was basically a Weir torque screwdriver. He named it in one, he's got it on the tin. Basically, it's a head that goes on all the other Weir screwdriver attachments. So it's one handle, multiple different screwdriver bits, and you can torque up the screws. So if you've ever been worried that the wire might come out of an NMCB, like a circuit breaker, this thing, you make sure it's torqued up to the right and you don't round off the screw, you don't over tighten. So that was in that video, and if you want to see more, go and watch it. Right, so 5th and final one. Good luck to everybody. We've got Adam Tingle 3748, he says, so close on the Weir Fuse Box challenge, Jono, which I was. I was probably within a few seconds, and to be fair, the prize was a pretty cool kit. A few £100 that prize was. I think it came 2nd or 3rd, something like that. Can't wait to get to a Tool Fair show near me. Another great bid as always. Well, thanks very much, Adam. Congratulations to all 5 of the winners there. We'll contact you all, send these things out to you. There's loads of other giveaways that are still live right now. You can go back, watch any videos after that London Tool Fair, and if there's a giveaway, all you've got to do is drop a comment, make sure you're subscribed, and you'll be entered, and we're going to do a couple more prize draws next week, and that's it. Yeah, we can send out some more stuff, so happy days. We're also doing videos every week with more cool giveaways coming, so make sure you don't miss out. Congratulations to everyone who won. Thanks very much, and we'll see you in the next one.